Yes, it's time for Quest for Queendom, and that quest got complete last Sunday. That's yesterday. Imagine your biggest dream coming true. You're writing an essay in your school and you say your biggest dream is to win a World Cup, and that becomes a reality. That's the true story of 24-year-old Amelia Kerr, who has grown under the shadows of her seniors and made all of their collective dreams come true. New Zealand beat South Africa last night and claimed their very first T20 World Cup title. Again, we do not want to run parallel narratives here, but picture this: New Zealand men's cricket team crashing out of the T20 World Cup just some months ago, losing to West Indies, in fact, who ousted them in front of their own home crowd. The women's team drove away all those nightmares by beating the West Indies team first in the semi-final to book a spot in the final, and then, of course, beat a spirited South African side to clinch the title. Now, more often than not, these matches become about the seniors in the team, sort of like their last hurrah, the ones for whom the team unites to win it for, a team working to achieve their long-held desire. But first, this tournament will be about one young lady who decided before the tournament even began that this would be hers, that she would be the player of the World Cup, and she did it. New Zealand equals Amelia Kerr, and Amelia Kerr is all of New Zealand. She gave an all-round performance with the bat and ball, proving to be the key differentiator between winning and losing. Just this final alone, she scored 43 valuable runs batting first, and then, of course, took 3 crucial wickets, including that of the South African skipper, Wolvaardt, their top scorer, in fact, in that final, that really put the brakes and turned the tide in the favour of the White Ferns. She's the first to have won both Player of the Final and the Player of the Tournament awards as Amelia Kerr.
I think for me, I was inspired to be a White Fern watching that 2010 World Cup, which Sophie was part of. From that moment, I was at the nets with my dad, pretending I was batting with Sophie and Suzie. Being on the team at such a young age and playing alongside my role models who have been so good to me, 2 of New Zealand's greatest ever cricketers, was incredible.
Talk about a dream manifesting itself, and talk about doing that yourself. That's truly a dream come true moment. And Amelia Kerr capped off that win by playing the guitar as her entire team stood around her singing a Maori song in dedication to their roots after what was indeed a historic win. Really, so many heartwarming visuals coming out after that win with all of them together. This was also, in fact, New Zealand's first ICC title since their World Cup win, the Eves I'm speaking about, back in 2000. And to think this was the same side that got into this tournament at the World Cup on the back of a 10-match losing streak. They had come in on their worst possible form. They hadn't won a single game in 10 outings when they hit the World Cup. Suzie Bates jokingly said, "We're the grandmas of the team." These grandmas inspired an Amelia Kerr, who wrote as a kid about wanting to win a World Cup alongside the likes of Suzie Bates, Sophie Devine and Lea Tahuhu, veterans who really defined cricket for New Zealand. Sophie Devine, a top-notch leader. Suzie Bates, who surpassed India's Mithali Raj to be the most capped international cricketer. Tahuhu, who bowled that clinical 9th over in the final to really tip the scales in the favour of her team. Amelia Kerr and other youngsters like Eden Carson, Rosemary Mayer, to name a few, did it for these self-proclaimed grandmas who finally won a World Cup. at the same venue where their male counterparts faltered against Australia just 3 years ago at a T20 World Cup final. Sophie Devine and company rewrote history last night. Devine says the 2000 win was special because that ended up inspiring her and Bates and many other senior players to really replicate that and do that one over. She hopes that this T20 win will go on to inspire the next generation of wily, talented and superstar White Ferns brigade to do one better.
Firstpost decodes the U.S. election. Explains how America chooses its president. Your primer on the race to the White House. Everything you need to know about how America votes and its global implications. U.S. Election Explained. Every Monday and Thursday only on Firstpost.